Ruminating about a fine dining picnic at Sapienza Università di Roma. Today is Tuesday, 25 March 2025. I am Tanis Coralee Leonhardi, she, her, hers of Seattle, and I am going to ruminate about a fine dining style picnic at Sapienza Università di Roma in Rome, Italy, including what type of food that may entail, such as homemade and or from local stores / restaurants. Rumination is actually something like grazing animals do. I mean, like chew their food. It's called ruminating. I went to the dentist today and they asked if it was like something about like there's been a change in like grinding of my teeth, and they actually the dentist pointed out where it was the upper right of my mouth, and there's like damage up here but not on the other side, and all of that damage. So it's kind of cool if it's grinding, because I didn't know that that's how it was, but I kind of remember each of the little chunks, you know, coming off, and it was always with crunchy bread or bread. And it was like there were a few like some damage, and it was like crunchy bread, and then there's like the medium breads, and then like another piece came off, and I was like, should I just not eat breads, like, you know, from the bakery and stuff? But I've gotten in control of it a bit. But yeah, I was like, oh, grinding, that's what that damage, that was bread. That's good to know there's a chewing thing. So this comes in with a fine dining picnic, because a lot of fine dining picnics have fancy bread, and so it's like, oh, look at this collision course of sorts. And so, you know, I was like, this could be generally if I were to attend university there, if I were on a heritage travel trip, whether or not I were based in Italy or a different country, like if I decided to go to the campus on a heritage travel trip, like my Italy date TBD trip. I was like, so there's the how to actually execute a fine dining picnic. Like, do I take a blanket and a little basket? Do I take stuff in Tupperware? What kind of dishes do we take to eat the food with, which would depend on the food? And we put it in a backpack if it's like Tupperware, and then pull it out and have plates and that kind of stuff? Or do we take a basket? Where's the home base for this? Is it a hostel? Is it a house? Is it that kind of thing? And so there's that. And then homemade and or from local stores / restaurants. Yeah, so is it going to be like cheesy ramen, or is it going to be, you know, fresh mozzarella made by Italians in Italy near campus, you know, or mozzarella I made myself at home or at the hostel or wherever. Or is it going to be pizza from a local restaurant? Is it going to be am I going to have some sort of like Italian soda from a grocery store? That kind of thing. Do I do a mix? So this isn't, it's ruminating, so there's not necessarily an end conclusion here, but just throwing out different aspects of it. Yeah. Do I make the food in advance? Do I make it day of? And then what makes it fine dining? Is it a combination of the setup, the food, and then the person, how I conduct myself? So like eating with a fork and knife, perhaps, instead of fingers. Unless it's like something that I want to pick apart the mozzarella ball. No cheese pull on the, you know, fresh raw mozzarella. That's right, mozzarella or something like that. So yes, I was like, that is something that I may enjoy doing in my life. A fine dining picnic at Sapienza Università di Roma. But just thinking about picnics more generally being fine dining, and taking it from like going and getting food on a street near campus and just sitting down with the takeout box and eating it, you know, to actually like making it fine dining or kind of an event of eating, of consumption. So there we go. That's ruminating about a fine dining picnic at Sapienza Università di Roma.